So today, February 4th, 2025, is Rosa Parks' birthday. It is her 112th birthday. And so today is Rosa Parks' Day. And I didn't know about this at the beginning of the day, or I didn't realize it until this evening. And in the morning, when I left home to go about my daily activities, I decided to take the bus to wherever I was going. And in Boahen, I noticed that where usually people pay, or if you are a student, you swipe your card to get access into the bus, it was covered. I thought probably there was a fault with the payment system in the bus, and so I just left to sit down. However, when I was returning this evening and I went to the bus stop, there was a gentleman there who was also waiting for the bus, and he asked whether I was also waiting for the bus. I said yes, and he says that today is a free day, and I said, what do you mean by that? And he said that today is Rosa Parks' Day. At that time, it didn't really click for me because what has it got to do with the bus we were taking? And then he asked whether I knew Rosa Parks, and I said yes, I had heard of her, but at that point I still hadn't connected it yet. And then he said that, oh, she was a Black activist. And so if you are not familiar with Rosa Parks, I want to read something about her. Now, Rosa Parks was born in 1913 and she died in 2005. Rosa Parks was an African-American civil rights activist, best known for her pivotal role in the Montgomery bus boycotts. On December 1st, 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, she refused to give up her seat to a white passenger on a segregated bus, leading to her arrest. Her act of defiance became a catalyst for the civil rights movement, inspiring mass protests and eventually contributing to the desegregation of public transportation in the US. Parks worked alongside leaders like Martin Luther King and continued her advocacy for racial equality throughout her life. She is often referred to as the mother of civil rights movement. Now, as this gentleman spoke to me about Rosa Parks, as I sat in the bus, it sent me into a very deep reflection about how somebody who had died over many years ago, over about 20 years ago, still lives on, and her impact still lives on. And it all sends me into a deep reflection about my own personal life, about what my life will stand for at the end of my life, or what would it count for at the end of my life. And so as I reflected, there are about 3 quotes from the book Acres of Diamond that came to my mind, and I want to share this with you. And the first one is, a man dies, but his good works lives. A man dies, but his good works lives. The second one is, greatness consists not in the holding of some future office, but really consists in doing great deeds with little means and the accomplishment of vast purposes from the private ranks of life. The third one is, if you wish to be great at all, you must begin where you are and what you are. If you wish to be great at all, you must begin where you are and what you are. Now, these 3 quotes, upon reflection, made a very profound impression on me in connection with the impact of Rosa Parks day, and how because of that day, because of her impact, a day has been set aside for her where even if you take a bus, you would not be charged a fee, and it is a way of celebrating her and the works she has done. Okay. And when we read the Bible, the Bible in Ephesians chapter 2 says that for we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. This is the English Standard Version, but what I really appreciate about another version, which is the New Living Translation, is that said that for we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do good things He planned for us long ago. Okay, the idea of a masterpiece to me refers to the fact that God took His time to create us for a purpose. Because if we say that something is a masterpiece, it means that usually it's related to art, it's related to something that has been artistically done, something that has been thought about, planned deeply, and executed. And so if we are God's masterpiece, created by God for a particular purpose, that means that God really thought about us, planned about us, and created us, brought us to this earth so that we can fulfill a particular thing. And for Rosa Parks, that may be what he was created for, to create a revolution in how things were done in the US. But as I reflected, I also began to ask myself questions that, why am I here on earth? And what will also be my impact on other people? What will I do today that would also impact other people in the future, even when probably in the future I may not be around? And it's also a question to all of us that as we think about our lives right now, what are we doing or what have we done that will have a long-lasting effect on people, or it would be a blessing unto others? I believe that God created us for a purpose. Each one of us, God created us for a purpose. And so it is important that we discover, we develop, and we deploy these purposes God created us for. And in doing so, I believe that it will create a better society, will create a better world for us to live in, where we become blessings to each other. We become blessings to one another. Just like how Rosa Parks has become a household name. Everybody, I am sure everybody, when the history of the US is written, her name can never be erased. Her name has forever been enshrined in the history of the US because of what she stood for, and because of what she was willing to go through and to do for the sake, not only for herself, but also for the sake of others. And so this is my reflection, and this is also my encouragement to all of us, that let us discover, develop, and deploy whatever purpose God has for us to the benefit of others. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.